Hello, everyone.
In that final 10 minutes of the second half of that game where they kept it close with Mercyhurst, even stole the lead for a little bit. But if they're going to want to come out with a win here today, they are definitely going to have to make IUP play their game.
It's going to be the Vulcans in all black and the Crimson Hawks in red and white. IUP will be going from right to left. California from left to right. It's going to be Porterfield and Hall in the center circle waiting the ball for the tip-off. And the tip is won by the Crimson Hawks. And Dave Morris and IUP will get us underway here in the KCAC. Morris gets it over to Jones. Jones guarded by Slaughter, gets switched on to Palick. Now Porterfield on the far side, dumps it down into the post to Suleiman. Suleiman trying to go to work. Nice spin move up and under. Gets Hall to jumping.
On him.
Whitehead has the switch onto Porterfield. Whitehead, nice step back shot, and Donald Whitehead Jr. Nate and I called him the Don, able to get that one to go.
We'll put that one in the highlight reel for sure, or the step back jumper, or got Porterfield a bite.
Just so crafty on the ball is Donald Whitehead Jr. and able to finish that one. Cuts the lead to just one. Jones inside on the drive. Shot won't go. And Hall once again pulls in the board. Now the Vulcans once again have the chance to take the lead, just under 15 left to play. It's going to be Hall pulling up from three, and Jermaine Hall just nothing but net for Jermaine Hall Jr. Another three-pointer for him, and a 2-point lead now for the Vulcans.
Looks like we're going to get a couple substitutions in for IUP here. Next stop it is but a good ball movement in Hall. What can we say? He takes the charge call, and that's going to be the second foul against the Crimson Hawks.
It's going to Jermaine Hall Jr. doing it on both ends of the floor, hits the three on one end, takes the charge on the other, and that'll send us to our first media timeout, and that'll stop the clock. 14:33 left to play here in the first half. The Vulcans with a 2-point lead and an 8-0 run in the last 125, so California doing a great job at not only scoring the ball, but getting good stops on the other end against this high-powered Crimson Hawks offense.
Yeah, it's definitely been in a big factor. As we saw, getting some good defense and coming back with an 8-0 run, and you got IUP to bite on the foul call, take the charge. As we get a couple of guys coming in off the bench now for the Crimson Hawks.
Taking a look at both these teams, shooting very similar across the board from the field. 47% for both teams, and from three, California shooting 36.7 compared to IUP's 35.2. So both teams like to shoot from the three-point line, and so far in this game, California doing a better job of it. 4 for 6 from behind the arc, 2 threes made by Hall, 1 from Polak and 1 from Whitehead. So all of their points, only one basket from Whitehead came from inside the three-point arc. So the California Vulcans taking advantage of that three-point line very early.
Yeah, that's definitely been a factor. And it doesn't look like IUP is worried about it. It is that they're giving the Vulcans all day to shoot from beyond the arc right now. I'm a little surprised at that, and especially when you see Coach Lombardi, how his team has played in other games. They're always up in everyone's face, but right now, looks a lot slightly lackadaisical, if I might say.
Yeah, maybe both teams just feeling each other out a little bit as we get into the start of this game. We're back underway with Whitehead, but taking a look at some stats, IUP giving up less than 60 points a game, 58.5 compared to California's 77.4. It's like we talked about, both teams, California at least, trying to take this one into a shootout as Palick gets it down low. Great extra pass from Polak, and Palick gets his first basket of the game and extends the Vulcan lead to 4.
Yeah, good ball movement there to find Palick on the inside, his first bucket of the game.
It's going to be all down to this guard play. The defense, as a member of the Crimson Hawk checked in the game, number 0, Jalen Stewart, one of the members to check into the game for the first time, as well as number 23, Kyle Pulse. Those two came into the game during that media timeout. It's going to be Shondale Jones on the ball, driving against Polak, kicks it over to Morris for a 3. His 3 too short. Palick pulls in the board, and Palick going quickly, able to find McClurg. McClurg, nice move. Loses control of it. Thought maybe there was some contact, but it's going to be Jones going the other way for IUP. Jones working inside, kicks it over to Pulse. Pulse extra pass to Stewart. Stewart on the drive, reverse layup, and gets it to go. Nice move by Jalen Stewart.
and you don't want to give IUP any kind of life, and that's what you just did there. If you if you're going to beat them, you have to get it out to a big lead early, and you started to do it. But right there after the turnover from McClurg, but I do agree, I believe there was some contact.
Hall with the mid-range jumper, can't get it to go. Stewart pulls in the board. It's going to be Morris going the other way for the Crimson Hawks. Whitehead guarding him, Morris working his way inside. Extra pass, Jones pump fake and driving. Crafty move, can't get it to go. Contact was made, so the Vulcans have numbers going the other way. 4-on-2, Hall from 3. Jermaine Hall Jr. 3 for 3 from 3. 19-14 with 12:40 to play.
What a way to start the game. Hall with the hot hand from 3-point ain't land.
9 points already in the game for Jermaine Hall. And he's really come into his own as this season has gone on. A little bit rusty after missing on the entirety of last season with that injury, but has really stepped it up in the last couple of games.
Definitely, it's been a big factor. It all started back at that Gannon game as Porterfield makes that one to cut it down to 3. A big factor from beyond the arc, built like a power forward, or plays like a center, or shoots like a guard.
Palick from 3. That one goes over the pack of the backboard. That'll take us to another media timeout. But like you talked about, in that game against Gannon, Hall really came into his own. Was 0 for 3 in the first half from 3, I remember, in that game. And then finished the game 7 for 10, so made all 7 of his three-pointers in the second half, because we talked to Coach about it on the Coach's Show, and he's really loved the improvement that Hall's made to this team. And being the veteran presence on this team, I think he's been a big reason to their recent success as he's been able to come alive.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see more of that as this game continues on. And my thing is for IUP, if you're not going to respect him from three-point land, he's going to shoot that all day. Yeah, he may miss 2 or 3 here and there, but if you're going to give him the time and space, guess what? He's going to drain it, and he's already, as you said, at 3 for 3 from downtown.
And it really helps in situations like that where you're able to spread the floor. All 5 members, when the Vulcans have the ball, when it's Whitehead, Polak, Palick, McClurg, and Hall, all 5 of them can shoot from anywhere on the court. So you have to respect him. And if you double team someone like Jermaine Hall, if you send an extra player to him, you're leaving someone else wide open that can knock down the three-pointers. So it really, really helps when someone starts off the game so hot like Hall has.
Yeah, and the only thing you have to hope, if you're the Vulcans, that it continues to stay that way, and that that flame doesn't burn out.
You'd hope so. Coming out of this timeout, 11:59 left to play, so just under 12 minutes. And the Vulcans doing a good job at staying afloat. A 3-point lead for them. And like you talked about, though, the worry against this Crimson Hawk team is the kind of firepower they have. You need to get out to a big lead early, so the Vulcans still have some work to do to try to build on that. We're back underway here. It's going to be Stewart, excuse me. Dillard checked back into the game for the Crimson Hawks. Jones went to the bench. Porterfield handed off to Jones. It's going to be Morris with one head to bat. There's too many good guards for this Crimson Hawk team. Dillard to Jones, guarded by Palick. Nice crossover move. His shot no good. Caden Hannu just checked into the game for the Vulcans, able to secure the rebound.
Yeah, and it's good to see some coach starting to get some of the other guys off the bench involved here.
Whitehead dumping down into the post to Hall. Hall backing down Dillard, takes it back out to the 3-point line. Dumps it down into the post to Palick. Palick going to work, tough shot. Can't get the roll to go. Jones pulls in the board.
Yeah, good ball movement by the Vulcans, but just couldn't get it to finish there. Now you got to get back on defense now.
11 versus 11 action. Porterfield versus Palick. Porterfield spins. Turnaround jumper for him. That one too short. KJ McClurg jumps over everyone to get the board. Nearly loses control of it, but able to come down with it and able to escape are the Vulcans. They have the numbers the other way. Palick pump fakes, working his way inside. Looks like maybe just stepped his foot on the line or traveled over on that far side, so another turnover for the Vulcans.
Yeah, and took it one step too many after he faked the shot, and they're going to get you every time with that.
10:40 left to play here in the first half. California up by 3. Stewart in the corner for three. That one off the mark, no good. Hall Jr. pulls in the board. Already 4 rebounds in the game for him as well. Whitehead on the other end. Nice move to find some space. His shot no good. And fighting for the rebound, it's going to end up into the hands of Pulse. And now the Crimson Hawks go the other way. Jones, cross-court pass to Dillard from 3. And Dallas Dillard knocks it down, and we have a tie ball game.
That's the first bucket for the Crimson Hawks in a while. However, California, 2.5 minutes since they last scored, so they got to get something going here.
Whitehead takes the screen from Hall. Whistle blown. I believe there's going to be a foul called. This one going to go against number 23, Kyle Pulse. That'll be his second, as it looks like IUP going to make a couple substitutions. Looks like Suleiman will check back in the game. And for the first time today, we number 12, Demir Brooks, will come into the game. Hall to inbound, able to find Whitehead. Takes the screen from Palick. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Hanna hands it off to McClurg. McClurg back up top to Whitehead. Whitehead, nice move. Working his way inside, able to find McClurg for 3. That one off the mark. And Stewart gets the board, and IUP going quickly the other way. Jones pulls up on the fast break, no good. And now the Vulcans 2-on-1 the other way. McClurg fakes the pass to Palick and gets the finger roll layup to go.
Good job by KJ McClurg, the freshman, and faking in the pass. Took IUP's attention away from him, so he had the easy layup then.
Yeah, stared down Palick the whole way and just took it for himself. Veteran move from him gives the Vulcans a 2-point lead once again. Now Jones for 3. Off the mark, but an offensive board by Suleiman. Back to Jones again. Second chance, and he's not going to miss twice. Shondell Jones with another 3-pointer.
Back and forth affair here. 22-21 now. Oh, Cal's got to find a way to slow IUP down a bit, and so they can try to run away with a little bit of a lead.
Whitehead gets a little bit of separation. Floater attempt, doesn't get the bounce, but Caden Hanna able to get the offensive board, but his pass stolen away from Stewart. The Vulcans have numbers back, but Stewart getting into the lane, finding Suleiman up top for 3. And Suleiman, the big man from London, England, able to knock down the 3-pointer, extends the Crimson Hawk lead to 4. Just over 8:15 left to play here in the first half. The Vulcans looking to cut into this IUP lead as they've gone on a bit of a 6-0 run over the last 30 seconds. Palick receives the pass from Hall. Palick working his way inside. Tough shot, no good. And looks like it's going to be Suleiman going over the back of Palick. Going to get called for the foul.
I think Palick's going to go to the line to shoot a pair, and we know how dangerous he can be from the free throw line.
Both teams making some substitutions. Polak back into the game for the Vulcans. And Morris back into the game for the Crimson Hawks. Looks like that foul, though, called on the floor, so California going to have to inbound the ball. And Dillard pushes down McClurg off the inbound pass. So 2 quick fouls in a row for IUP. It's going to be Dillard's second. That'll take us to the media timeout.
While we get a second here, John, let's take a look at the conference standings here in the PSAC West. As we know, IUP stands alone at the top of the conference right now. 10-0 in conference play, 16-0. Perfect record. We've talked about it early on. And Mercyhurst now all owns second place. UPJ right behind him in third. Slippery Rock, who's been surprising a lot of people lately. He's starting to cool off a bit at 6-4 record, or 12-4 overall. Seton Hill, who we'll see on Monday, tied for 5th place with California, 4-5 overall, 10-6 overall on your Vulcans, 7-9, who's slowly clawing their way back to try to get back to 500. Followed by Edinburgh, O'Gannon, and Clarion to round out the rest of the West.
Like you talked about, a big game, especially on Monday for the Vulcans, as they'll travel up to Greensburg to face off against Seton Hill. In a tough matchup, like you talked about, Seton Hill last season, their men's team not the strongest of teams, but new coaching this season, have a lot of returning players, and some new ones have definitely surprised a lot of people. 10-6 on the season for them, so that's going to be a tough matchup on Monday up in Greensburg.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see, as that one's going to have some playoff implications on that one. And right now, and I know, we're still a long way away from the end of the season, but at that conference tournament, it's going to be sneaking up on you before too long. So if you're California, you're going to try to get the better seed here.
Yeah, I believe the top 6 teams make it to the playoffs, if I'm correct. And if that was the case and the season ended today, the Vulcans would be back here to face off against the Crimson Arcs. Actually, they play off against Mercyhurst, as IUP would have the bye. We're back underway once again. The pass towards Hall, nearly stolen away by Suleiman, poked out of play. The Vulcans will get the ball back. 13 seconds left on the shot clock for them. So not a whole lot of time to play with on the inbound. Get it back to Whitehead. Whitehead throttling, crossing half court. 9 seconds left for the Vulcans to get a shot off. And once again, that time Morris just steals it away from Hall. And then a good job by Palick to get a hand on the pass from Morris. And now the Vulcans 3-on-2 the other way. Whitehead gets the pass from Polak, getting double team. And Whitehead able to get out of it. McClurg gets it inside to Polak. Polak working up against Morris. Polak on the drive. Nice crossover move. His shot no good, and Suleiman pulls in the board.
And the Vulcans are going to have to slow things down here a little bit. We've seen how this has gone so far. Or IUPE let Cal play their game for a little bit, but you gave the momentum back to the Crimson Hawks. Now you got to get back, play some defense, get a big stop, a block, take a charge call, something.
Morris kicks it over to Pulse in the corner for 3. His shot no good. The Vulcans able to get the board. 2-on-3 the other way as Polak winds up, gets it off to Whitehead for 3. His shot no good, but Whitehead fouled on his way down by Pulse. So Donald Whitehead Jr. going to go to the line to shoot 3. The Vulcans down by 4. Whitehead has the chance to make this a 1-point game. 5 points on the afternoon for him already. Good start for him coming off the bench. So Whitehead able to knock down the first. And like we talked about a little bit earlier on, that game against Mercyhurst, he came alive, had so many great crossover moves, was knocking down shots from all over the court, and had the chance to win it at the end, but had the fatal turnover with about 2 seconds left on the clock. Got called for the travel, and that ended the Vulcans game against IUP. Or not IUP, Mercyhurst. That was the game.
Yeah, and you and I talked about it after the game, whether or not that one was actual travel call, as Whitehead makes the third one. 2 out of 3 to cut it down to a 2-point game. Looked like he might have got fouled on that one, but it was one of those calls I believe it could have gone either way at that time.
Yeah, it was super close, and a heartbreaking loss for the Vulcans as Porterfield gets the pass inside. Shot won't go, but fouled on his way up. So Ethan Porterfield will head to the line and shoot 2. The junior from Sharon P. I know last year gave the Vulcans a ton of problems.
Yeah, and Porterfield's only a junior, so it means he only has one more year of eligibility. But I believe you're going to see him being one of the top stars here in the PSAC.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal this season, along with that guard play, as Porterfield makes the first and makes the second, restores the IUP lead back to 4. 6:33 left to play here in the first half. The Vulcans looking to dig themselves out of this hole here with Whitehead. Whitehead getting double teamed here under a little bit of pressure, able to find Palick, and Palick going to get called for the double dribble, and a little bit of frustration shown out of Keith Palick, and we've seen him do this a few times in the last couple of games. Nothing called after the whistle, I believe, but something that Palick is going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, it just gets a little very characteristic out there when he's on the court. But he's going to have to make sure he tries to keep that ego in check a little bit. But I don't think he took too well, although one of his guys getting shoved earlier on when Polak got hit to the floor on the inbound. I think that as we would call in wrestling, a receipt sent.
Yeah, but either way, Palick needs to keep a cool head here. One of the more experienced players on this team. I say that, and he's only a sophomore, but one of the only returning members from last year. Earlier on, just then, Whitehead got called for the foul, and another quick foul, this time going to go against Palick. So 2 fouls in quick succession for the Vulcans. They're up to 4 here in this first half compared to IUP at 7, or not at 7, at 6, excuse me. So the Vulcans 1 foul away from heading to the bonus. It's going to be Pulse on the inbound for the Crimson Hawks. Gets it back to Stewart. Stewart guarded by Whitehead. Gets it over to Morris. Morris gets it to Pulse now on the near side. It's up top to Suleiman. Nice pass to find Stewart on the far side. Stewart on the drive. Pull-up jumper. Gets that one to go. And the lead for IUP is up to 6. And a whistle blown going down the court. And it looks like Coach Lombardi is going to receive a technical foul.
So one of the IUP players said something in the Coach Sankum as he walked past the bench. So that was the initial foul, and then Coach Lombardi, he didn't like that call also. Now he got called for the technical. Yeah, so now the Vulcans are going to get two shots at the foul line.
Yeah, we'll see what the official call is from the referees as they're having a stop at center court to try to discuss. And both of these coaches in this game, Coach Lombardi and Coach Sankum, not known for their stoicness, not known for being calm. Both of them, I think it's safe to say that they're pretty hot-headed.
I was going to say outspoken.
And looks like there's going to be 2 technical fouls called, one on number 0, Jalen Stewart. And that was the initial technical foul that you were talking about. And then another one administered to Coach Lombardi. And the Vulcans are going to send Cam Polak to the line to shoot the free throws as he knocks down the first one.
Cam Polak on the season and one of the better free throw shooters here for the Vulcans, as he's made 86% of his free throws as he misses that one there.
Still has 2 more to shoot. And that's the pressure of the entire stadium just looking at him. Knocks down the third. And, I mean, this is a big swing for the Vulcans. We're down by 5. The offense hasn't been there in the last 3.5 minutes and just has the chance to get free points here.
And on top of this, as he makes the 3 out of 4, which is pretty good shooting, I'd say. He cuts it down to a 3-point game. The Vulcans also get the basketball back.
Could be a huge swing here for California, but need to inbound it all the way on the other side of the court. The Vulcans won for their last 8 and haven't scored a basket from a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes. Looking to change that here. Looks like another foul called on the inbound, as that one's going to go against Stewart again, and that's going to be 2 fouls for him in quick succession. Now Donald Whitehead going to go down and shoot, and it's going to be 1 and 1, as that's going to be the 9th foul of the game for IUP.
This could be a 6-point swing if the Vulcans hit and end up hitting this.
I mean, if Whitehead makes these 2 free throws, that's going to be 6 points, and the basketball hasn't even touched the court. So it could be a 6-point swing just like that without, or a 5-point swing, excuse me, if the ball hasn't even touched the court yet. As Whitehead back at the line, misses, but in fighting for the rebound, the Vulcans get it back. 1-and-1 shot. Whitehead misses, but the Vulcans now have possession. Whitehead gets it over to Polak. Polak on the near side, runs out of room, trying to find Hall inside. Looks like a jump ball going to be called, but the possession arrow favoring the Vulcans. They'll get the ball back, but only have 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Going to have to do something quick. Hick, you got about 5 seconds to set something up and 2 seconds to hit the shot off.
Inbounding to Palak, pump fake, and decides to pull up from 3 anyway. Rings out, no good. And McClurg jumps up for the offensive rebound, doesn't get it, but ends up in the hands of Whitehead. So the Vulcans with a fresh clock. Whitehead getting double teamed. Gets it over to Palak, and Palak gets that one stripped away from Jones, and Shondale Jones, as easy as you like, gets that one to go. And then the inbound pass from Palak goes over the head of Whitehead out of bounds. I mean, that was lazy from Keith Palak. I mean, Donald Whitehead, not the tallest guard, standing at only 5'10", but he would need to have been 7 foot to catch that pass.
And if Phil Alston was still here, yeah, that would have been a perfect pass to Phil.
Exactly, but that pass to to Whitehead, excuse me, just a little bit lazy from Palak. And the Vulcans had the chance to swing it one way, and now looks like IUP swinging it the other way as Jones pulls up from 3. And just like that, it's an 8-point game, 34-26 your score with 5 minutes. left to play here in the first half. And the Vulcans on the ropes a little bit. Need to see if they can recover here as Palick working his way inside. Has some good space, able to find McClurg in the corner for three. His shot won't go, but KJ McClurg fouled on his way up, so he will head to the line and shoot three.
I think if he made that one and the foul was called, I think this place would have came unglued.
Yeah, the Vulcans just, the offensive struggles here in the last couple of minutes. 1 for their last 9, 0 for their last 4. As McClurg misses the first free throw. And what's crazy to me on the season is KJ McClurg at one point in the season was shooting 60% from the field and 50% from three, but it's shooting like 40% from the free throw line, which I thought was insane because someone that has that good of shooting splits is normally an elite free throw shooter, but that hasn't been the case this season for KJ.
Yeah, on the season, he's at 65% free throw shooting.
Which is not the greatest mark you see out of the guard, but does make 2 of 3 and cuts the lead to 6 now for the Crimson Hawks. 4:45 left to play here in the first half. The Vulcans need to get a stop here as IUP have made their last 3 field goals and kind of just swung the tide back in their favor. It's going to be Pulse, guarded by Pollock, gets it over, cross-court pass to Jones. Jones takes the screen from Porterfield, guarded by Hall. Pass it over to Stewart. Stewart gets that one stripped away. And a foul in the open court. That time going to go against Stewart again. That's his 3rd foul already in the first half.
Now, Coach Lombardi's going to have to make another substitution, and because you don't want one of your big defensive players to come off the out of the game with 4:20 left to go here in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stewart didn't start the game, but has been a big key factor off the bench. 4 points for him, 2 rebounds and an assist, and had one of those technicals as well. And he's going to check, and it looks like number 2, KJ Rhodes, the redshirted sophomore from Pittsburgh, is going to come into the game after this first free throw from McClurg, which he's able to knock down.
Yeah, and I believe with that field goal there, or the free throw there, that's a big one in for the Vulcans, trying to keep their hopes alive in this one.
5-point lead for the Vulcans. We'll make it 4. 30-34, 4:20 left to play here in the first half. The Vulcans need to get a stop here, need to start to swing things back into their favor. It's going to be Poles getting it to Jones. Jones pull-up jumper. And as cool as you like, Shondell Jones has been on a tear in this first half. I believe 15 points now for him in this first half. Vulcans going the other way with Whitehead. Has maybe the switch that they won. Nice crossover move. Nearly loses it. Finds Polak for 3. Off the front of the rim. Tried to follow up his shot, but can't get the rebound. Porterfield able to pull that one in.
Not the where I thought they were going to go with that one. I saw KJ posting up here in the corner. I thought that's where they were going with it.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was the case, but the Vulcans' offensive woes still prevalent. No field goal made in almost 6 minutes for California's. Morris for 3. And that one just a little bit off the mark. And then off the rebound, IUP stepped out of bounds. So that'll be California ball as we head to this media timeout.
While we got a second here, John, let's take a look around the PSAC, some of the matchups we got going on today. Clarion and Edinburgh, two battle of our sister schools going at it right now. East Stroudsburg leads Westchester 12-8 right now, or is trailing 8-12 right now. Lockhaven and leads Millersville, or Lockhaven trails Millersville 4-2 in that contest. Waiting for a start between Shepherd and Mansfield Old, who we'll see on Wednesday. Same with the UPJ and Slippery Rock, Kutztown on and Shippensburg. And then the other game, Seton Hill and Bloomsburg 17-7, and the Griffins lead that one.
Yeah, a great slate of PSAC basketball for you. But while we have a second, let's make sure to talk about Vulcan Village. If you are a California member and you're looking for a place to stay, Vulcan Village is the place to go. Make sure to check out their website and check out everything that they have to offer. You're going to do room tours, everything that you would like. Make sure to check out Vulcan Village here today. our friend and our director here today, right now, Tom Caton. He lives there. He loves it.
And if you move up there, you could probably go party with Tom.
Yeah,
I don't actually probably not. I don't think Tom would appreciate 8 random strangers coming over to his dorm.
Yeah, you probably will be sitting inside watching RuPaul's Drag Race instead.
Friends or trying to think what other shows Tom likes to watch.
Gilmore Girls, he loves that.
Yeah.
I think he loves the Golden Girls as well. But we're back underway here in the KCAC. It's gonna be Whitehead on the ball, gets it to Polak for 3, and Cam Polak gets that one to go. The Vulcans finally able to knock down a field goal and cut the lead to 3.
6 minutes since the Vulcans have been able to make a field goal. Oh, and I believe that was probably the biggest one of the night so far.
And 6 points now for Polak. It's going to be Porterfield on the ball, bumping into Palak. Palak goes down, shot no good. There's going to be a foul called, a whistle blown. And trying to see, I think there's one they're going to call against Palak. That will be Palak's second, and that's going to send Shondale Jones to the line.
Yeah. So a little bit of contact, and that's going to be the 7th foul against the Vulcans. Correction, that'll be the 5th. Cannot math today.
Jones unable to make the free throw, and I think it was maybe a technical called against Palak. And we've seen Palak in the last couple games, like we talked about, getting a little bit more ferocious on the court. Doesn't seem to be agreeing with a lot of the calls.
And the ref talking something over at the scores table along with Coach Lombardi, so I don't know what's going on down there.
Yeah, they're just trying to figure out everything still. Getting ready to get back into it. Morris on the inbound for IUP. And another whistle blown. I think this time this one is going to go against Jermaine Hall as he held up someone trying to receive the inbound pass. That'll be his first and the team's 6th. And IUP is just going to do it all over again. Morris on the inbound. Gets it into Porterfield. Hands it off back to Morris. Morris, nice move. Gets a little bit of separation. And Dave Morris has been quiet so far this game. That's his first basket of the game. And gets that one to go. And it looks like another whistle blown. And I think they called a technical foul once again. This time against Coach Sankum. Yeah, that's what they did. They just teed him up.
Wow. Oh, Coach Sanka is not happy about that. And he's I'm not good at reading lips there, John, but I think he asked what the word that we cannot say on the air.
Blank is going
did I
on.
say?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, both of these coaches definitely wear their heart on their sleeve a little bit. They're always out there. You know what they're thinking. You're never going to wonder what's going to happen as Jones makes both of his free throws. Sends the lead back to 7 for the Crimson Hawks. And, I mean, it's just things like that that lead to a game getting out of hand, and it's up to the Vulcans now to try to hold the Crimson Hawks at bay and try to get back into it and not be down by too much going into half. We got 2:30 left to play here in the first half. McClurg step back 3 for him, no good. Polak on the second chance effort can't get that one to go, and Morris pulls in the board for IUP.
I think if you're the Vulcans, if you can get it down to 5, maybe 4, or going into the locker room, you're going to be good here. But they're going to have to play good defense, and right there, or a turnover that you needed to help you out. It's going to need something like that. You got 2:05 here in the first. There's left to go. Play a smart offensive basketball. And then get back on defense. Do not foul them on whatever you do.
Whitehead on the drive. Gets that one ripped out as he goes up. So Donald Whitehead Jr. going to head back to the line once again. Only made 2 of 4 here today. But wait a second. I want to talk about the game on the other end that Shondale Jones is having. 17 points for him in the first half. 6 for 11. 2 rebounds, 2 assists as well. I mean, he's just been phenomenal so far in this game for IUP. And Whitehead misses the first, so the free throw woes for him and for the team continue. And like I mentioned a lot when I played basketball, my coach Scott Bauer, shout out to him, he said you have to make your free throws. They are literally free points as Whitehead makes the second.
Yeah, that's Coach Kazmarski and Coach Jeffries beat that into my head at Uniontown and AJ. Hey, so believe me, I know. We'll talk more about that Vulcan offense here in a minute.
Jones, nice move. Going to draw the contact from McClurg, and McClurg not happy about that because thought he just went straight up. But Jones leans into him, so he's going to go to the line once again to shoot 2 and try to extend this lead even further. And that foul will be McClurg's second. Vulcans readying a substitution as Jones misses the first. And they're going to take out McClurg. Caden Hanna going to come back in. And during that last little break, a substitution made for IUP, number 3, Jaheim Bethea, the freshman from Philadelphia, going to come into the game for the Crimson Hawks. As Jones makes the second, extends lead back to 7 here with 1:35 left to play. Whitehead crosses the timeline. Just slowing things down there, and the Vulcans need to get good shots here on offense. Palick, with a little bit of space, pump fake. Now going into the post, pass it back to Whitehead. Whitehead bringing it back out. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Gets it to Hall in the corner for 3. And Tremaine Hall has made 4 for 4 from behind the arc. And haven't seen him in a couple minutes, but is still hitting big shots. Cuts the lead to 4.
That was big right there. That was big. It cuts it down to 4 points. You got a minute. That's where I said you needed to get down to before you go to the locker room. And a strange situation there as IUP lose possession of the ball, but it comes off of a Vulcan player out of bounds. So the Crimson Hawks will get the ball back after Coach Lombardi will take his timeout. Yeah. And they had to burn one because if you don't own, you're going to lose it in the second half. So
yeah, there's no point in not taking it.
Talk things over here, or try to slow things down a little bit. It is California's been making the Crimson Hawks play a little more up-tempoed game, and it's been crazy to see. And the other thing I want to talk about, John, is we look here at the stat sheet. California 10 of 25 on the afternoon. Not a great afternoon from the field. However, from beyond the arc, 7 of 13, and most of those were from Jermaine Hall.
So if I do my math correctly, which I'm not saying I'm going to go to, 10 for 25, 7 for 13 from 3. So that means the Vulcans on shots inside the three-point line are 3 of 12. So that's 25%. So not doing a great job at scoring inside of the paint. And as well, 10 or 15 from the three-point line, or not the three-point, from the free throw line, excuse me. And so if you're able to knock down a couple more free throws, you're looking at a lot closer game. That's,
I mean, if they score, or I'm going to say 3 more, or you're a 1-point game.
45 seconds left here in the first half. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Porterfield hands it off to Jones. Jones gets a switch on to Palick. Jones for 3. That one not long enough. And Coach Sankum going to take his timeout, and that'll stop the clock with 34.6.
You got a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock right now. And I guarantee you Coach Sankum's going to try to earn all 30 seconds of that.
Yeah, going to take that timeout. Draw up a good play here out of this timeout. Like you said, try to waste not a whole lot of time, as much as you can, to try to get not only your last shot off, but make it a good one at that, as it looks like the Vulcans are going to substitute back in KJ McClurg during this timeout. And I'm looking at some more stats here on the screen. One of the big differences, IUP 18 points in the paint for them compared to the Vulcans 4. Like we talked about, California have not been able to hit many shots inside of the perimeter, but outside 7 for 13 for them compared to IUP's 5 for 13. So still
Well, here's the one I'm looking at is the points off of turnovers. 14 points for the Crimson Hawks to California's 5. 8 turnovers for the Vulcans to IUP's 5 turnovers as well.
And so the Crimson Hawks doing a better job at protecting the ball. The Vulcans able to break the full court trap that the Crimson Hawks laid in store for them out of that timeout. Like you said, about a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. It's going to be Whitehead who's counted off, going to start his dribble. Going to make his move here with 10 seconds left on the game clock. Takes the screen from Palak, decides to pull up from 3. Shot no good, and the Vulcans get the offensive board. They're fighting for it, and Whitehead just heaves it at the buzzer.
Oh my, if he had made that, inches is from making that one.
Just did not get enough on it, and that will be the end of the first half here in the KZAC. IUP 41, California 37. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on CUTV. CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the KCAC for the start of the second half between California and IUP. IUP able to get the lead into halftime. 41-37 is your score. While we have a minute, we can take a look at some first half statistics as well. Johnny, what do we have?
So, starting off here, California trying to keep it close as they went only down 4, but you'd never know that by the way they've been shooting today, as they are 10 of 26 from the field, 7 of 14 from beyond the arc, and 10 of 15 from the free throw line. However, they've gotten caught with their hand in the cookie jar a few times, getting in some foul trouble, including a technical foul against Coach Sankum. But they also, rebound-wise, a 17-16, out-rebounding the Crimson Hawks, so that's a big one there to keep an eye on. Also, 0.8 on turnovers has been a big factor as we see IUP. He has 14 points off the turnovers of the 8 turnovers that California had. And Cal forcing 5 turnovers, and they did get points off of that, only 5 points. And 1 block for the Crimson Hawks. 3 steals for the Vulcans to IUP's 4. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play out this second half. And I guarantee you California made some changes in the locker room, and Coach Sanka is going to want to go back out here or make a statement and make this Crimson Hawk team pay.
Yeah, exactly. And like you talked about, this team so far in this game has lived and died by the 3. 7 for 14 from 3 and 10 for 26 overall from the field. So they've only made only 3 shots inside the perimeter. And I think what's really has saved them so far in this game has been the free throws and the free throw attempts. 10 for 15, so shooting 67% from the free throw line. Not exactly the greatest mark, but like we talked about, if they're able to knock down a few more, it's not a 4-point game, it's maybe a 1-point game.
Yeah, and that's what, if 1-point game or you just have a small lead, which either way is good for California. But 20 on the clock, both teams on the floor. Let's get ready for some more PSAC West basketball. It's going to be a wild ride going down the stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be a great finish, and one thing that both teams have to keep in mind is keeping their tempers in check. You know, we saw in that first half, tempers kind of flaring a little bit, some pushing, some shoving, some yelling, especially from the coaches, that led to some technical fouls. And I mean, in a rival matchup like this, you expect that, but both teams need to keep that under control as Porterfield gets the scoring started here for the Crimson Hawks as he makes the first basket of the second half.
And just left him wide open. And DJ Slaughter back in the game. Haven't seen him since early on in the first half.
McClurg on the near side. Nice drive into the paint, able to find Polak with the pass, and Polak going to get fouled on his way up. Thought maybe he was trying to pass up the attempt. That'll be Cam Polak going to the line to shoot 2, 3 for 4 on the afternoon already for him.
Yeah, Polak definitely is. We've said it. Wears his heart on his sleeve even when he's on the floor out there.
Polak misses the first one, so like we talked about, this free throw shooting from the Vulcans has been good, not great. If it was even better, it's a closer game as Polak makes a second. That gives him 10 points on the afternoon, so 2 Vulcans in double digits.
And that's big. That keeps it at a 5-point lead.
Jones on the far side, guarded by Slaughter. Jones going into the post, pass off to Morris for 3. Morris's 3 no good. And the Vulcans 3 on 1 the other way. Hall, nice pass from Polak, and Hall able to finish, cuts the lead to 3 for the Vulcans.
Good pump fake there by Jermaine Hall Jr. Wait, and waited out. Got the defender to butt, and then easy bucket.
And you know what that is? That's a basket in the paint. That's another one. That's one, not a three-pointer. The Vulcans finally score inside. So Vulcans, great start to the second half. Porterfield, nice pass from Jones to find him, and an even better finish by Porterfield.
Porterfield just so tall out there. Literally his head's just underneath the basket, it looks like at some point.
6'8", but seems a lot taller. It's Palick receives the pass. Nice drive from him, and Palick able to finish through the contact as well, and had a few choice words for Suleiman on his way back. And once again, the lead back to 3.
Palick's got to walk on because that's what got Stewart in trouble earlier on.
Surprising to say that's Keith Palick's first basket of the game. Has been a non-factor on the offensive end as Jones posting up. Slaughter shot no good, and Suleiman goes up and gets it to go, plus the foul, and you can see how excited he and the rest of the Crimson Hawks are as Suleiman will head to the line to try to convert the three-point play. And that foul will go against Jermaine Hall Jr. That'll be his second. Suleiman at the line. Makes the free throw. That's 10 points for him on the afternoon. And a 6-point lead now for the Crimson Hawks.
That's the third Hawk in double-digit points now.
Slaughter able to drive towards the basket. Off balance, shot won't go. Rebounded by Dillard. And Hall did a good job of covering. Now Morris on the drive. And a great job by McClurg to take the charge. Dave Morris just has not been his day so far. And that'll be his third foul. So Dave Morris already in foul trouble early on in the second half.
And Whitehead's going to check back into the game for California as well. Oh, Morris is going to go to the bench. We're going to see, it looks like another substitution coming in for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, Dillard is going to come out of the game for the Crimson Hawks as well. Looks like Stewart going to come back into the game for the Crimson Hawks. He has 3 fouls in the game as well. And looks like there was another technical foul call during all of that. So Cam Polak going to go to the line and shoot 2 once again.
Yeah, I didn't see who that was called against.
It's on Morris because Morris now has 4 fouls in this game. So I think Morris had some choice words on the charge call on his way back to the bench, and that led to another tech, and that led to another foul for him. So Morris 1 foul away from getting out of the game.
And that is big because if he fouls out, and he's literally the quarterback of this offense for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, all season long it's been him, and it's been Shondale Jones, the 2 for the Crimson Hawks that have been the focal point of their offense. And Jones not only having a spectacular night, but he's going to be without his running mate in Morris, who 2 points for him, 1 for 4, 3 rebounds, 4 fouls now for him, and the Vulcans get the ball back. So big swing chance here is Hall trying to find Polak underneath, and Polak gets pushed on his way, falling down. That's going to be another foul. So IUP already at 4 fouls in the half, and we're not even 3 minutes in.
This second half could be wild, and this might be the half the Vulcans need.
Definitely off to a good start as Palick in the post. Fade away, can't get the shot to go, not enough on it. Porterfield pulls in the board. Now's a chance for the Vulcans to cut the lead to 2. Still a 4-point game, 17-20 left to play here in the second half. It's going to be that man Jones leading the charge for the Crimson Hawks as Porterfield works his way inside. Shot off the mark. Suleiman pulls in the offensive board, but nearly stolen away. Great hands by Whitehead, just getting in there, causing all sorts of commotion. It goes out of bounds off of him, so IUP will get the ball back with 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Whitehead may not be the biggest guy on the court right now, but he is quick and he can cause chaos for her offenses.
It's going to be Pulse on the far side. 5 seconds left. Porterfield pull up 3. Rings out no good. Whitehead pulls in the board. The Vulcans going the other way with Hall. Pull up 3 for Jermaine Hall. And he finally is off the mark from 3-point land. That one goes out of bounds. His first missed 3 of the game.
If he'd have made that one, I think the Cal U faithful that came up here today would have lost it.
Yeah, and especially the bench would have gone crazy because Hall has just been lights out from behind the arc. But the Crimson Hawks go once again. It's going to be Porterfield dumping it down into the post to Suleiman, who's working up against the smaller Hall. Pass back over to Pulse. And nice job by him, pump faking, got Polak in the air, got him to jump, and took the contact. So that foul's going to stay on the floor, but it'll give IUP a fresh 20 on the shot clock. That foul against Pollock. That'll be his second. That'll be the team's second of the half. Like we talked about, the foul situation could be what is to look at here in the second half. Like I said, already 4 fouls for IUP in this second half, so that could be something to look out for. Nice pass from Porterfield, trying to find Jones on the cut, but intercepted by the Vulcans, but comes off of the leg of Hall out of bounds, so the Crimson Hawks will get the ball back.
And I mean, that was smart play trying to catch the Vulcans snapping, but I don't think they're going to get it off a second time.
Jones gets the inbound pass, working towards the baseline, posting up against McClurg. Shondale Jones, high off the glass, shot won't go. Suleiman offensive board, can't get it to go. Second shot won't go. Spin move, shot won't go again. And finally fighting for that rebound, jump ball called. The possession arrow favors the Vulcans. They luck out because Suleiman had three bites at it and just could not get it to go.
And that's going to hurt Suleiman in shooting percentage now as he misses 3 or 4 in a row. Oh, waiting on an update here. But I believe he's going to be 4 of 10 now, all from the field.
Just under 16 left to play here in the second half. Vulcans down by 4. Big chance to get themselves into the game here as Polak for 3. Cam Polak makes it a 1-point game, 15 points for the sophomore, and cuts the lead to 1.
The Vulcans needed that. That was big right there.
Yeah, great screen set by Palick, and Polak loves coming off those catch-and-shoot threes. It's going to be Pulse finding Jones. Foul called on the floor this time, I believe. Going to get KJ McClurg, and that'll be his third, and that'll take us to immediate timeout.
And with that timeout, we'll take a look here at the conference standings once more. We're here. There's IUP still undefeated right now. 10-0 here in conference play, 16-0 overall. Mercyhurst, after a win against California, looking for another win today. They are 8-2 in conference play, 12-2 overall, sit in second place. 7-3 is UPJ in conference play, 11-5 overall. Followed by the surprising Slippery Rock, who's starting to cool off a little bit. We'll see them later on here in a couple of weeks. 6-4 in conference play, 12-4 overall. Seton Hill sits at 500, 5-5 in conference play, 10-6. We'll see them Monday, and that's going to be a big game. So make sure you tune in here to CUTV and CUTV Sports 1 for that one. And Edinburgh, California, just behind that. At 4-6, 7-9 overall. Edinburgh, Clarion, and Gannon round out the rest of the conference. Gannon and Clarion, and still looking for their first conference win of the year.
Yeah, very highly contested in that middle of the pack. Like we talked about, the Vulcan schedule doesn't get much easier. Monday, like we talked about, game at Seton. And then Wednesday against Mansfield, on the weekend against UPJ, and then the following week, 2 away games in a row against the sister schools of Penn West, Clarion and Edinburgh. So a tough stretch of games for the Vulcans. And what a chance it would be to get a win in this one as Stewart pulls up for a 3 after the inbound play and gets that one to go, brings the lead back to 4.
Now the question is, how can California answer back on that one?
And can the Vulcans respond? Palick fakes the handoff, finds Hall. Hall decides to pull up from 3. And that one off the mark, no good. So Hall made his first 4, missed his last 2. Now the Crimson Hawks going the other way. Stewart now in the hands of Jones. Stewart with the ball once again. Gets the switch on to Palick, passes it over to Pulse, and some tangling underneath the basket between Suleiman and Polak. And they're going to call Polak on the foul there. That'll be his third.
Yeah, jogging for position, and that could have gone either way. And now it's California finding themselves in foul trouble as of late.
Yeah, tied up in fouls now, 4-4 in the second half as Jones receives the inbound pass. Can't get the layup to go. Thought maybe he had a nice look there. But the Vulcans going quickly the other way. McClurg finds Polak in the corner for a 3. Off the mark, no good. And fighting for the offensive rebound. A whistle's blown. And the possession arrow favors the Rock of Slippery Rock. Or not, why is not? It's been a long day. That IUP, that is the school that we're at. That's the school we were playing. It's Caden Hanna comes back into the game.
KCAC.
I just thought about Slippery Rock for a second. The name, I mean, we talked about it in the car on the way here, like why they're called, just like every other team has like a bird or something, and they're just the Rock, you know? And so had the Rock on my mind. But we're back underway here. 14:30 left to play here in the second half. Vulcans down by 4, pass tipped. Porterfield able to keep it alive. Hands it off to Stewart. Stewart guarded now by Palick. Nice crossover move by Stewart. His shot no good. And he's able to get his own rebound. Nice pass underneath to Suleiman, and Suleiman finishes. I thought maybe a whistle would have been blown, but no call made. And lead back to 6.
I'm surprised there wasn't a whistle called on that one, as there was 2 guys on the floor, and they were taking their time getting back up. You'd have thought they'd have called something just as a safety precaution.
Whitehead now on the drive, loses his dribble, needs help now, is able to find Palick. Palick driving inside, gets the finger roll to go, and gives a nice glare back to Suleiman. And we haven't seen much of Palick this game. Only his 3rd basket, 6 points for him. We're used to him scoring upwards of 20 points a game, but cuts the lead back to 4. Now it's Jones for IUP. Gets the switch back on to Palick. Looks like this is exactly what the Crimson Hawks want. Shondell Jones now for a 3 off the mark. Caden Hanna pulls in the board. The Vulcans now have the chance to make it a 2-point game here as Whitehead losing control of it. That shot gets blocked, but is able to get it back. Now McClurg up against Porterfield. McClurg, nice move inside. Reverse layup. KJ McClurg can't get it to go.
Oh, if he finished that one, that would have been a pretty basket.
Unfortunate there for McClurg. 12:53 left to play here in the second half. IUP cling on to that 4-point lead. The Vulcans looking to crack it here as Jones and Stewart play some 1-2 action. Jones now with the ball once again, working his way inside. He's going to get the shot to go plus the foul. Shondell Jones having a phenomenal game. 20 points now, can make it 21 after the free throw. And that'll be Whitehead's 2nd. That'll be the team's 5th. Like I said, 20 points already for Shondell Jones. 7 for 17 from the field. Has 4 assists and 3 rebounds as well, so an all-around game from him. He makes the free throw as well. 21 for him, a 7-point lead now for the Crimson Hawks. So can the Vulcans answer back? Palick gets it to McClurg. And a moving screen call. This time Hanna going to be the guilty party. And just when you thought that the Vulcans had a foothold in this game, starting to slip away just a little bit, but still plenty of time.
Here's Sankum barking at the referee, saying, and where, or was it? I didn't.
Back underway here is Pulse, guarded by Hanna. Hanna getting a little handsy. Able to pass it off to Jones. Jones now pull-up jumper. Nice block by Palick, but Jones good follow-up, and Jones gets it to go, plus the foul again. Great effort and great hustle by Shondell Jones. Didn't quit on the play. Got his own rebound and able to finish. And that'll be foul will go against McClurg. That'll be his 4th foul, so KJ McClurg going to head to the bench. And Cam Pollock going to come back in for the Vulcans. Jones makes the free throw, and all of a sudden it's a 10-point game with 12:02 left to play as Dillard checks back into the game for Jones. And if you're the Vulcans, this is a chance for you to maybe make up some ground. The best offensive threat in Jones on the bench now. Chance to potentially catch up here with Whitehead. Switch on to Porterfield. Whitehead on the drive. Nice move. Tunneled. Whitehead. Turnaround jumper gets it to go.
That was big. The Vulcans needed that.
Beautiful turnaround shot for him. That's 10 points off the bench for Don, the Don, as we call him. It's going to be Dillard, guarded by Polak. Nice crossover move from Dillard. Able to get some space, finds Suleiman. Suleiman gets Polak to jump, finds Pulse in the corner for three. That one off the mark, but Caden Hanna a little bit too antsy on the box out. Good a catch. Kyle Pulse on his way down, and now send Pulse to the line to shoot three. And that'll be Hannah's second. That'll send us to immediate timeout. The Vulcans now at 8 fouls in the second half. We talked early on, the IUP had 4 fouls within the first 2 minutes. They've been clean since then. IUP in the bonus now.
Yeah, and it's real surprising to see that. You thought California would have tried to stay disciplined and kept up playing their game, and it looked like that was what was going to be the case for the first 5 minutes of the second half here. Now California is down by 10 and in some foul trouble, so they're going to have to come up with something here. And all I got a second here is old John. And a couple of score updates. Westchester leads East Stroudsburg 61-48, so upset alert. Keep an eye on that one over there. Millersville leads Lockhaven in 52-46 right now. Oh, waiting on an update from Shepherd and Mansfield. Well, also waiting on updates from Slippery Rock and UPJ, Shippensburg and Kutztown. And also waiting on updates from them respectively. Seton Hill up 82-49 as they now break away against the Huskies. And then your nightcap game, Mercyhurst at Gannon tonight.
And we talk about Gannon still looking for their first win of the season. It's going to be a tough opponent trying to take down the Lakers of Mercyhurst, but Gannon have been looking a lot better as of recently. We're going to get back underway here. It's going to be Kyle Pulse, 6'2" sophomore guard out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Went to high school at Pine Richland. Heading to the line to shoot three here for IUP. First free throw off the front of the rim, no good. It's a sight that the Vulcans want to see. Score within 8 here for California. Pulse knocks down the second on the season. Coming into this game wasn't 1,000% free throw shooter, so missed his first one here today. Misses 2 now, and foul called under the basket. And it looks like they're going to catch Palak for that one.
I thought they were going to. I'm surprised at that one. I thought they were signaling against IUP.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was going to go against Suleiman, but that one's going to go against Palak, and that's going to send Suleiman to the line. And that'll be Palak's third, I believe. And IUP still in this 1-and-1 as Suleiman misses the free throw. So after all that, the Vulcans still no worse for wear. 11-10 left to play here in the second half. California down by 9. Looking to carve themselves out of this hole. It's going to be Polak. Polak on the drive, gets that one stripped away by Suleiman. 2-on-1 the other way. Suleiman, nice spin move into the lane and a great finish. And it brings the lead to double digits. And now Hall the other way, gets that one sent to the stands by Suleiman. Suleiman nearly runs over the camera person down underneath the basket. And I think Hall a little bit upset. I thought maybe it was a goaltend, but I don't think the ball was coming down quite yet.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I could see why he was upset.
But now the Crimson Hawk feeling good as Hall's shot off the front of the rim, and the Vulcans just look a little bit rattled here in this second half, and rightly so. It's a 4-point lead going into the break. It's ballooned up to 11. And Stewart with the step-back jumper. His shot no good. Whitehead gets the board. Vulcans have a few numbers going the other way. It's going to be Whitehead with the pull-up jumper. His shot no good. Tries to go up and get his own rebound, but in the process going to foul another Crimson Hawk, so that is going to send them to the line once again. And we talked about the foul issues to be a problem for IUP, but it's turned out to be the problem for California, as they're now sent IUP to the double bonus with 10:18 left to play here in the second half. That'll send Jalen Stewart to the line. Stewart knocks down the first one. The sophomore guard from Buffalo, New York. Transferred in this year from Seton Hill. Makes the first one. Some substitutions made as KJ McClurg will come back into the game for California in place of DJ Slaughter. McClurg, the Vulcan, on 4 fouls. As Stewart makes the second, so maybe an eye on the defensive end as we may see the Crimson Hawks try to pick on McClurg and try to get him to foul out. As Whitehead takes the screen from Palick, gets it over to McClurg in the corner. Nice cross-court pass to find Polak. Pump fake, jumper from Polak, and that three-pointer goes. Cuts the lead back to 10.
Vulcans are going to need more of that if they want to stay in this one.
Yeah, great shooting night for him so far. For Kim Polak, like you said, going to need to get more of that. Foul blown off the ball. That's just been the story of the second half. That one's going to go against Hall. That'll be his third. That'll send Shondell Jones to the line for the Crimson Hawks to shoot 2 free throws. Jones unable to make the first, so we're about to be tied up here in terms of free throw attempts on the afternoon. The Vulcans were dominating in the first half from the free throw line, but in this second half, it's been all IUP as Jones makes the second 15. It was 15 free throw attempts in the second half for IUP already. Now Whitehead on the drive, able to get by Porterfield. Can't make the layup, though.
Got to finish those ones.
Dillard receives the pass. Nice pass inside. Extra pass in the corner for Jones, and Jones stepped on the line and went out of bounds. So the Vulcans catch a break there. And like you said, that is one that you need to make if you're the Vulcans here going down the stretch. You need to be able to make those easy layups, but that time Whitehead unable to finish.
Yeah, you got to finish those ones. Those are the easy ones you got to get.
9:15 left to play here in the second half. Palick, cross-court pass to Polak. Polak from 3 again. Ring is in and out, no good. Thought maybe he was able to bury that one. Bring it back.
I thought he was too.
It was so close. It's going to be Stewart. Pass it off to Porterfield. Porterfield hands it off to Jones. Shondell Jones now from 3. And if Polak doesn't make it on the other end, Jones will make it on this end. 28 points for him. And the lead back to 14 for IUP. Polak on the drive. Shot won't go. Hall trying to tip it in, but Polak comes down with it. McClurg. Nice move. Gets it over to Polak in the corner. Pull-up jumper from Polak. Shot won't go. And Hall going to make the shot, but a whistle blown under the basket. I think they're going to call a foul on Palick underneath. Palick upset about that because that's going to be his third. And once again, it's going to be Shondell Jones at the line. And so far here, the Vulcans on offense, as of recently, just cooling off a bit, just hasn't been there over the last 4. One of their last 8 from the field. And Shondell Jones has a chance to score 30 here if he's able to knock down these free throws. Misses the first. And now David Morris will check back into the game for the Crimson Hawks. Stewart will head to the bench once again. Jones knocks down the second. 15-point game, 69-54 your score, 8:28 left to play here in the second half. This game's been all Shondell Jones. As Whitehead on the drive, gets a little bit of separation. Pull-up jumper, no good. McClurg gets the offensive board. Second chance, gets it to go. Plus the foul. KJ McClurg will head to the line. That could be a spark that the Vulcans need.
And that couldn't have come at a better time.
Now Caden Hanna going to come into the game here for the Crimson Hawks. McClurg knocks down the free throw, converts the three-point play, brings the lead back down to 12. This ball is in the hands of Morris. Morris gets it over to Dillard. Up down into the post of Porterfield. Porterfield trying to back down Palick. Porterfield working his way inside. There's a little bit of separation. Throws that one over the top of the backboard. Trying to draw some contact, but no whistle blown. And that will send us to immediate timeout.
So, while we got a second here, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Vulcans. We've talked about it a lot today, Abe. So after today, Monday, the Vulcans are going to travel to Seton Hill on short rest, which is going to have some playoff implications. Then Wednesday, back to the Convocation Center as they'll take on Mansfield. And then next Saturday, January 28th, they'll take on UPJ. And then we'll start the second half of the conference schedule as we take on Clarion. And at Clarion, go to Edinburgh on February 4th. February 6th, another Monday game and Slippery Rock comes to town. That's where you're thinking of the Rock. February 8th, we'll take on Gannon. February 11th versus Mercyhurst. February 15th versus Seton Hill. February 22nd, and at UPJ before the February 25th senior day as they take on IUP.
Taking a look at some stats here as well. On the season high for points from this IUP Crimson Hawk team has been Dave Morris. He scored 31 against Penn State Altoona in a preseason game a couple of weeks ago, all the way back in December. And right now, Shondell Jones is at 29. It would be the most points that he scored this season. His previous high was 26 when they played against Walsh all the way back in November. So Shondell Jones has the potential to have a season high here. He already has his season high, but has a chance to get a team season high if he's able to continue scoring. As Whitehead finds Polak in the corner for three. That shot was blocked on its way up. Great effort on the defensive end by Suleiman to get over and get a hand on that one. As it's Morris. Gets it over to Porterfield, Hands it back off to Morris. 7:25 left to play here in the second half. Morris on the drive, gets over to Porterfield in the corner for three. That one off the mark, no good, but Suleiman pulls in the offensive board. Now Dillard on the drive, turnaround shot, gets it to go over Polak.
And for the Vulcans, you cannot give up that second end chance there.
Hall, we haven't seen much of him, gets it off to Whitehead. Whitehead, tough mid-range jumper, gets it to go. A nice high arcing shot as Whitehead answers back. Lead back down to 12. The Vulcans still very much in this with 6:45 left to play.
Couple big stops, and they could really cut into this lead, but they're going to have to answer on offense for those stops.
They want to run, they need to go on, and now as Morris pulls up deep from three, can't get it to go. But Dillard jumps over the back of three people to try to win that offensive board. And it looks like they're going to blow the whistle. Now foul's going to go against him. That'll be his third, So he's on three. Morris is on four for the Crimson Hawks. And Dillard going to come out of the game, and Jalen Stewart going to come back in.
No, scoreboard just took a second to update, but that's his fourth. So you got two of the bigger guys of that lineup up in foul trouble. Stewart with three. So Coach Lombardi's going to have to be real sparing on when he puts those guys in the lineup.
That's something to keep an eye out on while the rest of the game continues. Whitehead dumps it down into the post to Hall. Hall gets a little bit of separation. His shot won't go. And a great move going down the other way as Stewart going to head to the ground along with KJ McClurg. And that's going to be McClurg's fifth as he's going to get called for the blocking foul.
And they're gonna IUP better chill out. Oh, they were saying some words, but McClure back up to his feet is not too happy about the call. Oh, as he heads to the bench.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was able to set his feet in time. And with that, KJ McClurg's night is done. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for him on the afternoon. And into the game for him will be Caden Hanna, who we've seen quite a bit off the bench. And you can see Coach Lombardi on the court now talking to a few of his players, just telling them to keep their heads cool. And if they do so, I mean, they could have this game under wraps if they're able to just keep themselves level-headed. But Stewart unable to make the first one. 12-point game still with 6:09 left to play. Stewart's second free throw attempt here at the line. Misses as well. The rebound attempt by Suleiman will head out of bounds, and Suleiman coming up out of that one limping a little bit as he's making his way down the court. Hopefully everything's all right with him, but something that the Vulcans are going to keep their eye on down the stretch.
If you're the Vulcans, you're going to want to exploit that right here, right now. That is big.
Yeah, I mean, he's guarding Hall, so maybe want to get the ball to Jermaine Hall, but Palick driving inside. Tough shot, can't get it to go, and Suleiman pulls in the board, and you see
something's not right.
Coach Sankum frustrated. And it looks like they're going to call a timeout, I believe, or an injury timeout at least, to get Suleiman off the court. And he's going to come out, and KJ Rhodes going to come back into the game here for IUP.
Rhodes, who we saw earlier in the game, got a couple minutes of play. But I think that's going to put a night on Suleiman as he's heading back to the locker room, and that's not good.
Yeah, it looks like, I think when he came down, just kind of limping with that, one of those ankles, and I believe was the right one. So, like I said, something to keep an eye on as Morris under a lot of pressure, able to find Rhodes. Rhodes losing control of it. A nice job by Palick to cut out the pass. It's going to go out of bounds, but IUP will get the ball back. Only have 4 seconds left on the shot clock, so they're going to have to come up with something quick. Morris on the inbound, able to find Porterfield, and Porterfield shot no good. Second chance no good. Doesn't get a third chance as Polak comes up with the board. Good stop there for the Vulcans, but need to start a run now. 5:10 left to play here in the second half, down by 12. Need to start the scoring off here as Whitehead driving inside, looking for some help, gets it back out to Palick. Palick from 3. Just hasn't been his night, but fighting for the offensive board is Caden Hanna, and Hanna going to get called for the over and back foul, and that'll send Dave Morris to the line.
And that's Hanna is trying to plead his case, but the ref's not going to hear it.
Like we talked about, Morris, one of the leading scorers on this team, has been a non-factor because he's been in foul trouble for a lot of this game. 2 points on the afternoon for him. He misses the first free throw. So still a 12-point game. DJ Slaughter going to check into the game for Caden Hanna. First time we've seen Slaughter since, I believe, the beginning of the second half. So
since at least the first 5 minutes.
So the 5 for the Vulcans are Whitehead, Slaughter, Palick, Hall, and Polak. As Morris able to knock down the second free throw. The lead now 13 for the Crimson Hawks, 72-59 with just under 5 to play. Palick, nice pass to find Hall, and Hall left wide alone. Stewart didn't even want to contest him at the rim, and Jermaine Hall able to get himself on the board once again. 11-point game now.
Well, Stewart, who's also in a little bit of foul trouble, why would he want to contest it?
Yeah, smartly so, just gets out of the way of the freight train that is Jermaine Hall Jr. As Palick going to get called for the foul as he tried to get in there and swipe that ball away from Porterfield. And at this point, seems like, to me, it kind of not really the smartest player from Palick. I mean, you could have gotten the ball, but at the same time, your chance of fouling there is so much higher than getting the ball that you're risking sending Porterfield to the line, who has been an excellent free throw shooter, made all 3 of his free throws so far after he made that one, and gets you and your team in even more foul trouble. Now Palick is at 4. Porterfield makes the pair and lead back to 13, 4:25 left to play here in the second half. Whitehead guarded by Jones. Nice move from Whitehead, getting a little bit of separation. Shot won't go, and Morris comfortably will pull in the rebound. So far, the second half has just been deflating for the Vulcans. So they just seemed to have not been able to get anything going, as Morris off the screen from 3 won't go, as Hall pulls in the board. Hall gets it to Polak. Polak pulls up from 3. His shot won't go. And Slaughter and Palick fight for the rebound, and ends up in the hands of the Crimson Hawks. Now Jones passes it inside. Extra pass from Rhodes to Porterfield, and Porterfield gets himself on the board once again.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication there by the Vulcan. And as Coach Sankom's going to call timeout. Oh.
That'll stop the clock with 3:31 left to play here in the second half. IUP up by 15, 76-61. Your score. And while we have a second, we could take a look once again and talk about the upcoming schedule here for the Vulcans. Obviously, short rest, and then on Monday they'll face off against Seton Hill. The next Wednesday, home versus Mansfield, home versus Pitt Johnstown next Saturday on the weekend, followed by 2 road trips up to Clarion and Edinburgh the following week.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough road. Especially when you see that the schedule's going to have 3 teams that are ahead of you in the schedule right now, or ahead of you in the standings right now. In some of these games, you're going to have to try to steal a win or 2, especially Slippery Rock coming to town, Gannon coming back. You don't want to fall in that trap where they almost did a week ago. To the Golden Knights of Gannon. But you also want to be able to hang tough with Seton Hill, UPJ, and honestly, California surprised me on Wednesday when they took on Mercyhurst. The fact that it was only a 1-point game, he still shows that there's a lot of growth in this team compared to when we saw them early on when they took on the beginning of the season with Lincoln.
Yeah, there's been plenty of improvement as the team and as the season has gone on, but this game right here, especially as a team so young, the oldest member of the team being Jermaine Hall, being a junior, and this game just seems to be one of those road bumps along the way. It's going to be Whitehead working inside, going to get fouled down in there, and that's going to send us to another timeout. This one's going to be immediate timeout once again, and that one will be the 3rd foul against Stewart, excuse me. And that'll send us to another immediate timeout.
Oh, we got a second here. We'll take a look around on the PSAC West again, and along with the other games right now, as we see the East Stroudsburg or trails Westchester right now, 72-65. Millersville is up 68-63 over Lockhaven right now. UPJ and Slippery Rock still waiting on the scores from them. And it looks like a couple of these games have already gone final. So we'll keep an eye on those.
And that Pitt Johnstown Slippery Rock game could be one to shake up the standings a little bit, waiting to see what goes on in there, because those 2 teams, like you talked about, fighting for that top spot, nearing the top, falling behind IUP. So there is the potential for one of those teams to usurp the other.
And it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out after that one. And that Shepherd finally getting their first win of the season, and 69-64 over Mansfield. And then Bloomsburg held a close matchup, but now falls to Seton Hill 90-61.
If anything, that Shepherd win spell some good omens potentially for the Vulcans in their matchup next week as Whitehead knocks down the first free throw, the first of the 1-and-1. Lead back to 14. Has the chance to make the second. 13 points on the afternoon for him. Make it 14 now as he makes the pair. And it looks like the Vulcans in that break talked about playing this full court pressure style. Jones looking for some help, able to get it into Jones, Morris trapped. And Hannah gonna foul Jones after he received that pass. And like we talked about, IUP have been in the double bonus for almost the entirety of the second half, so that'll send Shondell Jones back to the line. And then Jones knocks up the first. That's 30 points on the afternoon for him as Palick going to come back into the game here for California. And Jones makes the pair, so 31 for him, ties the season high here for a Crimson Hawk member. Hall nearly gets that one stolen away. Morris, quick hands. Now Whitehead pulls up deep. I think it's a long two for Donald Whitehead. So he knocks that one down. The lead cut back to 13 again. And IUP able to break this press once again. Morris smartly just slowing things down here. And Whitehead trying to play some pressure, nearly pokes that one away from Dave Morris. And the Vulcans sending the double team here as Palick and Whitehead. But nice job by Morris, able to get it out. And Suleiman, who just checked back in the game, seems everything is okay with him after he took a little bit of a spill earlier. Morris, deep three from him. And Dave Morris knocks it down. We haven't said his name a whole lot, but he's made a huge shot there. But the Vulcans going quickly the other way. Polak answers straight back, 3 for 3.
Yeah, but is it too little too late for that one?
It seems so. The Vulcans still playing this pressure, but the Crimson Hawks still able to break. As Morris standing around the center circle, you hear the fans chanting IUP as Jones inside dumps it down below, trying to find Brooks. A foul and a whistle blown.
I believe Brooks stepped on the line.
Brooks stepped out of bounds. Another turnover for the Crimson Hawks. It's not something that we've said a whole lot here today. Now give the Vulcans the ball back. And Whitehead nearly gets that one stolen away, but draws the contact first. And that one's going to go against Brooks. And the Vulcans still in the 1-and-1. So then Donald Whitehead is going to go to the line once again. Powell going to come out, still on those 4 fouls, and the Vulcans still want to maintain them down the stretch here. So Hannah comes back in. Whitehead makes the first free throw, 17 points now for him. $17 for him, 69 for the Crimson Hawks. Not the Crimson Hawks, for the Vulcans. Let's make it 70 now for California. Down by 11 with 1:55 left to play. And Slaughter nearly able to steal away the inbound pass, just cannot hold on to as it was falling down out of bounds. Ends up back into the hands of the Crimson Hawks. That could have been a chance for the Vulcans to capitalize.
Yeah, that would have been big, because that would have been a 2-point swing, as Polak's going to foul there, or swat that one away, not to make sure that wasn't an easy bucket for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, Demir Brooks now going to head to the line for the first time. Redshirted freshman from New York, New York. Going to make his way to the free throw line. Haven't seen much of him today. His first free throw is good. Palick going to come back into the game here for Hannah. That'll be Brooks' first point.
Going offense for defense here.
Second shot from Brooks, no good. And Hall going to be the one to come down with the rebound. The Vulcans need to go quickly here. They have no time to play around here if they want to try to get back into this game. It's going to be Whitehead from 3 off the rim, no good. Shondell Jones pulls down the board. The Crimson Hawks had numbers going the other way, but decides to slow things down, And now Morris calling for the screen from Brooks. Dave Morris once again for 3 and starting to heat it up here in the second half. 15-point lead now for the Crimson Hawks. Palick loses control of it. Stewart comes up with it. And now he's down on the ground waiting to see what the referees are officially going to call. And IUP calls a timeout before a jump ball can be called. So they'll get the ball back, and that'll stop the clock with just under a minute, 55.2 left to play.
And Coach Lombardi, talking strategy here, here as he saw the jump ball was going to be going back to California, had the whistle been blown sooner. But just trying to figure out a way to wind down this final minute and to play up 15.
I would like to say the Vulcans have a chance, but there's nothing short of a miracle here if they want to win this game. 15 points in 55 seconds would be the comeback of all comebacks, but
literally would have to hit at 5 3-pointers to tie it up.
Just to tie, not even to win. So we'll see how the Crimson Hawks will come out after this inbound play. A nice cross-court pass to Dillard. And I think the Vulcans have accepted. They're going to wind the clock down here. About 23 seconds between shot clock and the game clock. As Dillard for the Crimson Hawks is winding things down. Nice move, able to pass off to Brooks. Brooks trying to go for the jam. And Jermaine Hall gets up there and fouls him. I mean, if he would have slammed that down, I think this place would have exploded.
Yeah, I think Brooks was going to throw it down.
Brooks knocks down the first. Palick back in. So is Stewart for the Crimson Hawks. And Shondell Jones will get a standing ovation heading towards the bench. 31 points for him, along with 6 rebounds and 4 assists. A career game for Shondell Jones. And Brooks makes the pair. And in the game will come KJ Rhodes. And out of the game will be Suleiman. He's going to head to the bench for the last 35 seconds. Whitehead receives the inbound, guarded by Stewart. Able to find Hall inside. Hall, mid-range jumper won't go. And after a hot start, Vulcans offense just lost their wings a little bit. And it looks like Dave Morris and the Crimson Hawks are just going to wind things down here at the end of the second half.
Yeah, Morris is the Vulcans couldn't come up with an answer for him, and it's going to. That shows why they're going to end up walking out of here with another victory today. A 17-point lead for the Crimson Hawks.
The Crimson Hawks prove why they're the #1 team in the country, and that is the final here. 87 for IUP, 70 for California. Any final words here, Johnny?
California, it was their game to lose. They had it down to 4 points early on, and just got into foul trouble about halfway through the second half, and then it was just all IUP after that. So, going to go home, lick your wounds, get ready for Seton Hill on Monday.
From everyone here at CUTV, from my broadcast partner, Jonathan Sakaguchi, my name is Jonathan. Say thank you all very much for listening. We'll see you guys on Monday here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Network.